Yeah, okay, yeah. I've been all day.
City Port Richey City Council meeting Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. I'd like to invite Servant Leader Fields for the invocation and remain standing for the pledge.
So, Father God, we just thank you that we could come to you in the name of Jesus and for stuff for the city and the stuff that's on the agenda for the public hearing as well as the city meeting and the council. I thank you for every team here as we do the Pledge of Allegiance. And we want to give you all the glory and honor as we got some decisions to make. And we thank you for the opportunity also to work with redevelopment and being able to reach out into our community for Port Richey hooked on the Bayou Seafood Festival. So we thank you. That's going to be a great turnout and for a fishing tournament day. So we just give you the glory and honor as we say the Pledge of Allegiance to you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, have a roll, please.
Mayor John Eric Hoover,
Here.
Vice Mayor Chris Mayer,
Here.
Councilman Robert Hubbard,
Here.
Councilwoman Lisa Burke,
Here.
Councilwoman Christine Sullivan,
Here.
City Attorney Nancy Meyer,
Here.
City Manager Don King.
Here. Thank you. Okay, so first up, I have a proclamation for Flood Awareness Week. If I could get Veronica and Tony to come forward. Okay, so this is a proclamation in recognition of Flood Awareness Week, March 9th through March 15th, 2026. Whereas severe weather events can result in flooding of coastal and riverine areas, causing damage and losses to homes and businesses, whether in high-risk special flood hazard areas or low to moderate risk flood zones. And whereas the City of Port Richey is a voluntary participant in the National Flood Insurance Program that provides residents with the opportunity to protect themselves against flood loss through the purchase of flood insurance at reduced insurance premium rates, as well as setting higher regulatory standards to reduce the flood risk and potential flood damage to their property. And whereas public education helps promote preparedness, control, and mitigation measures to reduce property damage and loss of life, and we join the Florida Floodplain Managers Association and local municipalities in recognizing Flood Awareness Week to promote awareness of flood risk, flood insurance, flood protection, and emergency preparation methods. Now, therefore, I, John Eric Hoover, Mayor of the City of Port Richey, do hereby proclaim the period from March 9th, 2026 to March 15th, 2026 as Flood Awareness Week in Port Richey, and urge all residents, businesses, and organizations to participate in activities that enhance our community's preparedness and resilience against flooding. Dated this 24th day of February, 2026, John Eric Hoover, Mayor.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hold for one more. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, next up we have 3 sets of minutes, so I'll go through them one at a time. So looking for a motion to approve the January 23rd, 2026 City Council Workshop minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the January 23rd workshop minutes.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, I need a motion to approve the January 27th, 2026 City Council meeting minutes.
Motion to approve the January 27th, 2020 council meeting minutes.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any further discussion? Any public comment? Seeing none, put to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And finally, I need a motion to approve the February 10th, 2023 City Council meeting minutes.
So moved.
I got motion with Chris,
Second.
second Christine. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is comments from the general public. I do have 3 sign-ups. First up is Danny Fields. Welcome.
My name's Danny Fields, and my address is 8114 Leo Kid. Again, I just want to thank you for your service and what you guys do. Somebody Cares and Light of the World work together to adopt a park and go out and clean the park up. We was out there Saturday, and we had a pretty good team. There was 11 of us, and so for 2 hours, what we did ended up with recyclable bark and stuff around the trees and all that, and any trash we just put in the regular cans. And so that way we had 8 bags of that. We had 1 brush of a big a pile of brush that the city went to pick up and power wash the pavilion and the bathrooms all around. So if you look at the total of that, between 11 people at 2 hours, totals out to 22 hours of work. So we are glad to be able to help in that, to help make the area look good and be a part of teamwork. So it was a great day for us. We had lunch afterwards at Light of the World, so we're going to continue to do that. That's just going to get you guys ready for the events coming up for the stuff at Hooked on the Bayou. I also have the digital flyer as well as these. We're going to start advertising that, and then some of us are going to be out there and getting other people involved so that way the city could get behind what we're doing in the community to bring events committees and stuff like that to celebrate and growth. And then also again, Hooked on the Bayou for the fish tournament. So I'm trying to get Leonard to sign up for that, 'cause, that way he could fish, because that's what he likes to do. But we got other people that wants to speak tonight. So to me, it's an honor to be here as a chaplain, as a citizen, and to get to work with you guys and do stuff in the community. And also at the park, when I went over to take pictures and evaluate to see what projects needed to be done, and then also go back after the finish work was done and submit that to Sal. I like to talk to the people. I told you I do surveys and talk to the community, and they're noticing the difference in the park. I told them that the parks are going to be redevelopment. I got some feedback to them, but later on I could share some of the things that they had, which is really what you guys already wanted to do, pavilions and growth and all that stuff. So I'll leave it there at that. We're doing good things together, and I want to continue to do that. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you all. Thank you. Next up, I have Stu Pat Rogers next. Welcome, Pat.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. It's nice to be back here again. I've got a letter that I want to read.
Yes, I think.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. It's been too long.
Wow, we forgot.
4838 Sunset Boulevard, Port Richey, Florida. And I've got a letter that I'd like to read and have it become a matter of the record. And it's to Mayor Hoover, Vice Mayor Mayor, Councilwoman Burke, Councilman Hubbard, and Councilwoman Sullivan. I submit this request so that I may complete my tax forms for 2025. I'm requesting a copy of the structural engineer report and a copy of the invoice for the demolition of 4841 Limestone Drive in 2025. Okay.
You want need a motion to set that in the record, or just since you read it in, I just give it over to Ashley? Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
Okay, next up I have Dawn Benedetti.
How y'all doing this evening, Mayor, everybody? I really just want to tell you how much I appreciate y'all and what you do. I have you all written down, and I'll pray for you every day. Pray for you and your families. Yes, for your peace and your health. I just wanted to invite you to 2 things that we're doing, because I'd really love if you guys come. We have a prayer, praise and prayer for our nation coming up this Saturday from 9:30 to 11:30. Oh, 8114 Leo Kid, forgive me. Over at Light of the World Tabernacle. It'd be great to see you all there. I can give you a copy of that. And greater thing we got going on is we're going to be showing the movie The Favorite up in Holiday. It'll be under a tent. It'll be nice. We'll have some popcorn and stuff, so you can bring the kids and stuff. This is a really wonderful movie. It's a good movie, and it's got John Schneider's in it. He's from the Dukes of Hazzard. I know you guys must remember him. So I just would like to open invitation you guys to that too, and bring your families. It'd be wonderful to
What day
see
is
you
that?
all there. That's going to be on the 7th of March at 6 p.m.
And then on this Saturday for the other was 11.
The other one's going to be at 9:30 to 11:30 on the 28th. That's coming up this Saturday.
9:30.
That's going to be Light of the World Tabernacle. I appreciate y'all hearing from me. You have a blessed night.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all the sign-ups I have. By show of hands, anyone else like to speak? Okay, seeing none, we'll come back to the comments from the city manager, and I'll pass over to Mr. King for his comments.
I have one item for action tonight. This is regarding an emergency purchase request. Basically, the head wall and the swell down at the intersection of Ritchie Drive and Wilkins Street. Basically, what we have is it's failing. The wall is collapsing. Went to clear it out. Went to clear out the sill. What we found is that the wall there is starting to separate actually from its foundation. Unfortunately, we can't go in there and fix what's currently there because it's not reinforced. So it's going to have to be a complete gut. Our big concern is if we don't get after it as soon as possible, we may have a catastrophic failure there. And our big concern is if it gets wet at any point at this time, that we may lose that intersection. So what I'm asking from council is to get approval for emergency purchase of $31,300 to go ahead and take care of that immediately.
And that, what's it coming out of?
It's coming out of the stormwater management line item fund.
Okay.
Yes.
Did S&C doing that, or you got a contractor lined up, ready to go?
Yes, we already have a contractor
SC.
already set up and lined up, and this is what this document is here that you're receiving. Go ahead and pass that down.
So is there any discussion, or if not, need a motion to approve?
I'd like to ask a question. Where exactly is this located?
It's at the intersection. Well, it's actually, the intersection right there. It's Walmart, the Walmart Road that actually comes out of Walmart. As you take that, basically your left to get back on Ritchie Road to get onto Ridge.
Yes.
Right there. It's on the west side.
At the very end of the
Yeah,
road.
At the very end.
There's a ditch right there on the left, and actually that was I think platted for a road to go on back through there. But if you go straight through that where it stops, the road right there on the left is where the problem is, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
What we have is we actually have a swell right there that we manage and maintain. And what we found out is that during the cleanup of it, that we actually identified that it was collapsing. We're having a catastrophic failure of the structure.
Yeah.
It's the intersection of Ritchie Drive and Wilkins Street on the west side of that.
And Daryl, you're here in the room right now?
Yeah. Can we, Mike?
So Daryl, is it a wall or is it a pipe? What is it?
So there is just put together with brick, with cinder blocks, and that swell hasn't been cleaned out for 20 years. So when we were cleaning it out, we noticed the cinder blocks are separating and starting to lean forward, and there's no rebar or structure or footer down there holding it. So when we cleared out the pipes and everything, we stayed away from it because we saw it was clogged. We didn't want to disrupt it anymore until we could figure out getting it replaced.
The big white long concrete things, are that sitting on top of the structure that's failing, or
It's sitting inside, no, the whole wall itself. That's
the wall that comes up above there?
Oh, that's just a barrier there so nobody drives off the edge. But we're going to get new bollards, concrete bollards is going to put in.
There's pictures in the back of that packet that'll show that the head wall is at the lower portion right above the pipeline.
Oh, I see, yeah. Yeah, those are on top of that then.
And we also had the building official, Tony, went out there and inspected it as well and, created a memo and commented on it that this does need immediate attention.
Yeah, you can see the crack there. It's pretty bad.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve city manager to go ahead and hire S&C Signature Construction for $31,300 to take care of that wall at Ritchie Drive.
Okay,
Second?
have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Any public comment? Seeing none, put to a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. good to go on that?
That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Daryl. Okay, next up is comments from boards and committees. Do we have any boards, committees? Letta, welcome.
Linda Rodriguez, 5917 Lantern Court. Just a reminder, the CAC, we are planning to go to Waterfront Park on the 7th, the Saturday before the Seafood Festival, to, again, clean that up and stuff. So just wanted to remind the residents that on the 7th, we'll get there about 8 o'clock, 8:30. So
Cool.
join us.
Yes.
Coffee and donuts.
There you go. Perfect. Any other boards, committees? I do have some from the event. So, we met yesterday, the event committee, finalizing the Seafood Festival stuff. Obviously, we've got I think I reported back about the bands last meeting, didn't I? Or you guys aware of what's going on with band wise? I think I reported that, didn't I? You remember? I'll
You just said we're having band.
Okay, well, I'll give you the details. So we had a budget of $2,500 for the music. We're gonna have a DJ from 10 to 2, and then we have Big T from 2 to 3:30. Big T and Company. Then we have the Corey and Scott duo with a third person. Tom's his name. So it's a trio, CST. They're going to be from 4 to 6. And then DC and the Whiskey Revival. Yeah, country group from 6 to 9. So that's all slated and good. We talked about getting a tent again, like we have in the past. We decided, we haven't completely decided. We're going to look at as we get closer to the weather and decide that on next Monday's meeting. But right now we're holding off on that. It's going to cost like $1,500, but the church also has theirs that they said that we could use again. We had a discussion about possibly, as we're doing these events, and we, every, probably 3 times a year, we're going to use a tent if we do something similar we have been doing. And instead of paying out $1,500 of that sponsorship money all the time, we're going to probably look at take some of that and actually invest in our own, and then we can work out and get that put up as we need it. So something we're looking at, but for this immediate event, we still have access to the one that the church has, and they're willing to put that up for us if we decide to do that. So more on that coming. We talked about the golf cart polka run and coordinated to get across to Port Richey. So what Rod has decided to do, instead of bring everybody to the waterfront and start there, then have to cross to get over here, and then cross Grand to get back, and then cross again to get to the Seafood Festival, and then go back home. They're just going to start over Newport Richey, I think, at Emerald Coast, which is what the original plan was. They're going to do all their stops in that side of the river, and then we'll schedule probably an hour time frame where the chief and staff can help usher the golf carts across Grand Boulevard to get them over to our side so they can complete the rest of the stops over here, and then it would end up at the waterfront for the end of that. And then after the event ends at 9-ish, then they facilitate them getting back across Grand. So that's a go. The fishing tournament's locked in. The prizes are $12.50 for first place, $500 for second, and $300 for third. Entry fees are $50 before the captain's meeting, which goes up till the captain's on the 13th. So up till the 12th, it's $50 an entrant. Last year, when we did the Centennial, we had a captain and 3 other fishermen in a boat. Now we're just doing individuals at $50. We gave $1,000 worth of sponsorship to Tarpon Springs Fishing Club to run that event and manage it, and that helps go towards the prize fund that they're going to dish out. So and the captain's meeting will be at 7 o'clock on the 13th, and then they're going to have there's more information on our website, but they're going to have a start, I think, out somewhere in the water and disperse them from there. Kayaks are welcome. I think you can fish from the bank, any option you want, as long as you pay a $50 fee, you're involved in the tournament. And then they'll have a presentation back at the waterfront. I think that's about it from the Seafood Festival. Anything I missed? No. Okay. So we got one more meeting, possibly 2. I think we'll have everything wrapped up. There's going to be a kids zone. That's one more thing. We're waiting on. There's $500 that we're renting 3 blow-up obstacle course, a gaming thing, and I think a slide. that's going to be over by the kids' playground area. We're working with staff to make sure that all maps out okay, and so that area be for kids to go and play during that festival. And we should find that finalized on Monday of next week. So, not necessarily from the events committee, but along the same lines, I wanted to give a little bit of update on some of the markets that the chamber's been doing in the city. We just had, so obviously we've got the second Saturday market going on in the city of every month, second Saturday. And we've been doing that at Walmart, sponsored by Walmart. It was a good success in January. We just had the past one February 14th. It was even bigger and did really well on Valentine's Day. So obviously that's going to continue. We tried a market, a night market over at Cancun Beach. We had about 14, 15 vendors there. Nice little quaint market. We didn't get a whole lot of traffic there. It didn't do too terrible. But I think we're going to look for a different location, and I'm working with Catches to possibly host that on the 4th Saturdays of the month over at that. They have an overflow lot that's grass and fenced in right there across from the restaurant. And so they're willing to do that, and they're going to sponsor that market. We've got to work out the details, but that should be forthcoming. So looking like going forward, we'll have the second Saturday markets from 10 to 5 at the Walmart parking lot. And then if it does successful business over there for the 4th Saturday at that Catches location, we'll continue that throughout the year as well. So good stuff going. I think that's all I have from an event perspective. Any other events?
Historic Preservation?
Yes. That's what the committee's event.
Historic Preservation Committee had its first meeting on February 12th, and Laurel Hubbard was appointed chairwoman. We still have two seats open. We have 5. I think it goes up to 7, so there's no?
No, I sent an email to you guys. You guys have a full board.
Yeah, 5
So
is full.
we
Five
can't
is
have
full.
2 more? I thought we discussed we had 2.
No, your resolution was updated and it's 5 members.
Oh, okay.
So you have a full committee.
We have a full committee. That's great. We have yet to appoint a secretary. We'll do that next time. And it looks like our meetings are going to be held on the second Thursday at 6 o'clock of every month, and that's.
So you say there are more people interested in that committee?
I guess not. I mean, I guess we're full.
Well, you're full, but you said are there people?
We thought so. We thought we had a few more who were.
Well, we used to think it was 7, wasn't it? And we couldn't staff it, so we dropped it down to 5.
Yes, correct. You were having issues staffing it, so when we revised the resolution, we took it down.
Yeah. So if you have,
I think we have 2 more.
I mean, we could open it back up to 7 or do 2 alternates or something if you guys think that it's going to be.
We probably should, just for backup purposes.
Yeah.
You know, to have 2 more, so we never fall below quorum.
I would say get names, definitely commitments, and if there's a couple more people that want to go on it, then I said bring it back and we can discuss changing that resolution. That's just a 1 meeting thing to do that. Yeah, because it used to be 7. We just scaled it back because we couldn't get staff. But if we get staffing, by all means, we can open it back up. Okay, that it?
That's it.
Okay. All right, moving on to the consent agenda. Item number 2, I need a motion to approve the February 24th, 2026 consent agenda.
So moved.
Got a motion with Chris,
Second.
second Christine. Any further discussion? Any public comment? Seeing none, put to vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have our public hearings. Item number 3, second reading of ordinance number 26-740, City of Port Richey Code 101-11, definitions and Chapter 121 signs. I'll pass it to Ms. Meyer for the reading.
Thank you. Ordinance number 26-740, an ordinance of the City of Port Richey, Florida, amending City Code Section 101-11 definitions and Chapter 121 signs to remove or revise outdated or preempted provisions and to ensure compliance with prevailing First Amendment case law, to provide for additional definitions related to signs, to reorganize sections of the chapter for clarity and consistency, making related findings, providing codification, severability, and effective date.
Okay, and I will open up the public hearing. Any comments? Okay, seeing none, I'll bring it back to the council for discussion and or motion. I do have something I wanted to bring up in light of the election season and signs and stuff going out. I know in here we changed the rule from And I go to page 39. It's temporary signs subject to 12110 of this chapter may be erected within a city right of way with the permission of the parcel owner who is responsible for maintenance of the right of way. The sign shall be at least 5 feet from the roadway. As I've been out and about and looking and measuring, I've noticed that 5 feet does cover most of it, but there are some, especially when there's no sidewalk, and you're in parts of the city where like side streets and whatnot, the mailboxes are just a couple feet off. Normally the sidewalk starts at a couple feet off there. So I wonder if we should allow that 2 feet as the limit as opposed to 5. And
Sorry, I had noticed that as well. I
Yeah.
thought that should be reduced.
yeah, and I thought that we'd actually, I know 5 kind of was thrown out there, and I thought we had large discussion about that. I did go back and watch the workshop, and it did come out as 5. So I did reach out to Nancy in anticipation that we may look at changing that. And she said that it is okay to make that change. It wouldn't be substantive if it just goes from 5 to 2.
That's not a problem. We can move forward to the second reading.
And the reason behind that because is before the code currently it does not allow signs at all in the right away. We're going to allow those, and so it's just a change of the actual dimension of what it would be. So if we would need a motion to change that in a second and a vote.
Motion to reduce it from 5 feet to 2 feet.
Second.
Okay, motion a second. Any further discussion? I do have one point of clarification on that. If there is a sidewalk, do we need to specify in there that it has to be 2 feet off the road, but obviously it can't be on the sidewalk, so you'd have to put it, you can't impede the sidewalk.
Yes, I mean, if that's going to be an issue, yeah. If somewhere 2 feet ends up on a sidewalk, you need to clarify what that person's supposed to do in writing.
Yeah, so that's what I think. So if you could change that motion to include that if the sidewalk is within the 2 feet from the roadway, it must be on the other side of the sidewalk, but not to impede the sidewalk.
Yes.
Okay.
What Eric said.
Go with that amendment?
Yes, I am, sir.
Who's the second?
Oh,
Lisa's the
Lisa,
second.
you go with that amendment?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Any public comment? Okay, seeing I put a vote on in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Did anybody else see anything else in there? Okay, so now I'm going to put the entire ordinance to vote. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I need a motion to approve the ordinance with the amendment.
Motion to approve the entire ordinance, the amendments we just talked about.
Second.
Okay, motion second. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next up, we have another public hearing, item number 4, second reading of ordinance number 26-741, amending chapter 127, article 3, section 12755 of the Port Richey Code. I'll pass it to Ms. Meyer for reading.
Thank you. Ordinance 26-741, an ordinance of the city of Port Richey, Florida, amending chapter 127, article 3, section 127-55 of the Port Richey Code of Ordinances, making the sign requirements in the waterfront overlay district consistent with the chapter 121 of the Land Development Code, providing for severability, providing for codification, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, I'm going to open a public hearing. Any comments? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. Bring it back to council for a motion and or discussion.
Motion to approve the second reading ordinance number 26-741, amending chapter 127, article 3, section 127-55 of the Port Richey Code.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. That concludes our public hearings. Moving on to council business. Item number 5, first reading of ordinance number 26-744, amending chapter 127 zoning, article 4, supplementary district regulation, section 12792H, home occupations. I'll pass that to Ms. Meyer for a reading.
Thank you. Ordinance number 26-744, an ordinance of the city of Port Richey, Florida, amending chapter 127 zoning, article 4, supplementary district regulations, section 127-92H, home occupations of the Code of Ordinances of the city of Port Richey to bring the section into compliance with Florida statute section 555.955, providing for severability, providing for codification, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, and I'll pass over to Don. Did you have any introduction to this at all? Or? Okay.
We're pretty clean on this one.
Okay. Any questions from council? Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance number 26-744, amending chapter 127 zoning, article 4, district regulation, section 127-92, home occupants.
Second.
Okay, motion second. Any further discussion? Any public comment? Seeing none, I'll put to a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is item number 6, Pasco County Unmanned Systems Task Force Agreement. I'll pass that to Mr. King for introduction.
I'll pass that over to Police Chief.
Chief.
So this is a task force agreement that the Sheriff's Office of Pasco County has started, and all the other agencies in the county have already signed it. Basically, we got our drones off of a grant, so we were able to get commercial-grade drones. We're not allowed to go to Walmart and purchase a $100 drone and use that as a government entity, so we were able to get the commercial-grade drones. Now, this gives us the opportunity to work with the other agencies, so there's really no law enforcement lines. We could use theirs, they could use ours, and the overall goal in the county is to have 43 of these little stations called Nest, to where they'll be flown out of these nests as a drone first responder agency. So between the Sheriff's Office, us, and Newport Richey Police Department, we should have the west side of Pasco County pretty much covered. And this gives us the opportunity to train with them, to operate with them, and also have all their waivers. So everybody, the misconception is we can just go fly a drone because we're the cops. Well, we can't. We have to have waivers. We have to have licenses. So between me and the fire chief, we're getting ready to get all of our people that are going to fly these their proper licenses. So insurance will cover us in case we have something unfortunate happen. And then with the Sheriff's Office agreement here, they already have all the waivers, so we can fly these out of our site, which normally you can't do that unless you have a waiver for that. It's very hard to get that waiver without the proper training and the initiative to do that. And then we could also fly them at nighttime, which a normal person is not allowed to fly a drone at nighttime. And we're also allowed to fly them over crowds of people. So if we have something going on at Waterfront Park, like 4th of July fireworks, we could actually fly it over there because we already have the waivers by signing this agreement. So it's kind of lucky that the Sheriff's Office of Pasco County has done all the legwork, and they're offering us to be able to jump on the task force with them, and all we have to do is send our guys over there for training once a month. So we all train together, so we kind of understand what we're going to be doing if we send one of these up in an operational situation.
So do we have any airspace restrictions? They have to stay within the city airspace, or we can go outside?
The only restrictions in Pasco County is up north by Hernando County has a little airport that flies over. But again, Pasco County has done all the homework on that. So they have that listed. And when we get our actual drones, that's already programmed into the program. So if we fly it somewhere, it'll actually fly around that. It wouldn't fly through that airspace.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, it's definitely next level. And like I said, we're lucky that they did all the legwork for us. They've been doing it for a couple of years now, and we're being offered this to be able to jump on there so we can all work together as one unit.
I'd like to make a motion.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Pasco County Unmanned Systems Task Force Agreement.
Okay.
Second.
That motion second. Any further discussion? Any public comment? Seeing none, put to a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, item number 7, FDOT IPTM Overtime DRE Subgrant. I'll pass it to Mr. King for introduction.
I don't have anything on this one.
So this is a grant that we applied for through the Department of Transportation for our drug recognition experts. We actually have 2 of them on staff. So when we have other agencies that need to have an evaluation done on people, say they don't know what their kind of drugs they're using, they bring them in, they do these evaluations on them, and then we can pinpoint exactly what classification of drugs they're on. And this will give us up to $500 on overtime to help other agencies do this throughout the year.
Motion to approve the FDOT contract G3185 subgrant.
Second.
Okay, motion second. Any further discussion? Public comment? Seeing none, put to the vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is item number 8, Florida Law Enforcement Accreditation Agreement. I pass it over to Chief as well, I guess.
Yes.
Let me know if you need to step in. I'll just keep going.
Well, this is a promise I made you guys when I got hired, and it's near and dear to me. I think it's very important that we become an accredited agency. There's less than half the agencies in the state of Florida are accredited. We were able to just get Newport Richey accredited this last week up in St. Augustine. So it's a big notch. But basically, if we become accredited, it's saying that we're using best business practices. We're not the wild, wild west. And there's a set of standards. The state of Florida sets out about 263 standards that we have to abide by. Our policy
policies have to be in line with best business practices to protect us from liabilities and lawsuits and things like that. And then we have to make sure our officers get the proper training, have the proper equipment. They're not running around with expired bulletproof vests or anything else like that that can force liability onto the city. So it's a good thing when we sign this contract, we have 2 years for an inspection. My goal is 18 months, and I'm hoping by sometime this time next year we'll be setting up our mock inspection, and a few months later be doing our real on-site, and hopefully next October receive our accreditation award from the CFA, which is the Commission for Florida Law Enforcement Accreditation. And I estimated about $4,000 a year on this, just because we have some improvements we need to do in the police department and some equipment we need to purchase. But as far as a lot of the scholarships, I'm going to apply for the state of Florida, and I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get a scholarship to pay for the software that we need to do this process, and also for some other things we might need. So,
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing.
Motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Public comment? Seeing none, put to the vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. And finally, item in council business number 9, red light camera agreement, Vera Mobility. Pass it over to Chief for introduction.
one more. So these are our red light cameras that we already have. When I came here, I really wasn't happy. I checked with some other agencies on how much they were paying, so I went to the company that we've been paying since 2010, and I challenged them on the price. So we were able to cut the price from $5,000 a camera to $3,500 a camera per month, which is going to come to a savings of almost $90,000 a year for the city. And they're going to upgrade our cameras to a new 4K camera so we can see everything that's going on. So I think that was the important part. The rest of the contract stays as is. It's automatically renewing every year. And this one goes to 2031, and then we can revisit it at 2031. And it kind of guarantees our price is not going to go up for this set of the contract for the next 5 years.
Awesome.
You are on a roll.
So we're agreeing to a $3,500 discount. Yes.
Motion to approve the Vera Mobility Professional Services
Good work,
Agreement.
Chief.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Public comment?
Dawn Benedetti, I was just curious, what, do you know what our revenue share is on that percentage-wise on, with the tickets that it creates? Do you know what we're getting back?
Percentage-wise, I really couldn't tell you. We have to pay so much from everything that we get every year. So we have to pay like $700,000 to the state for studies that they're doing. Another fund that we do for head and spine injuries from people in car crashes. We usually give a report. I think we did our last report in January on that, and it breaks down how much money was generated and which pockets or which pools those monies were given to through the state of Florida and to the city.
So they don't get a percentage based on the tickets that the red light camera is drawing?
Nope.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Any other questions? Comments? Okay, that'll bring it back for a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is old business. Discussion on old business, item number 10. Is there any old business?
Any word on the speed humps?
Yeah.
I got to take advantage when he's here. So
Don't blame you.
So the speed humps, we got a quote from Ajax finally, and both of them came out to 17. Did she confirm? It was like 17,000 and change.
actually, it's 27.
27,000. Sorry.
Yeah, no, total for.
Total for two.
So we're going to reach out for additional quotes from instead
That
of
seems like a lot higher than what we originally.
In '83, it was $800. I don't know.
And 2 years ago when we got it, it was
9,000 something.
like $9,600.
Yeah, that's fun. It's like,
So
And you were looking at another company too, because you couldn't get something from Ajax.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. We're going to try and reach out to a couple of other companies, because we were surprised as much as you are about how much higher that was.
It might have been because they were doing our roads at that time. It'd probably been easier since they were here, maybe to do it, possibly.
the mobilization fee.
Exactly. Logistics. But still, it's crazy.
And for the mayor and for the council, the team's definitely tracking on negotiating these prices down anywhere and everywhere they can. If you notice, that's kind of our mantra. So They'll come back and let us know.
On the on the road subject, obviously, I think we've got in the budget 400,000 or something for road repaving projects. Maybe if it is coordinated with that, we can avoid that mobilization fee for that. I don't know if that would help or not. But do we have any plans for where our next set's going to be? You guys been working on that?
It's on the study.
Yeah, we haven't discussed where we're going to start presenting which roads yet, but we plan on doing that soon.
Time to find by fall, I guess we'd be doing something then. So, yeah.
And Newport also changed their humps, so they're the red stamp now. So, and we got ours quoted to match those.
All right.
So it all looks uniform going down Grant.
Yeah, that's,
So, not just a black like stamp like it was last time.
while you're up there, can I ask you, are there any plans right now for the
You're right,
sidewalks
Lisa.
down Washington?
Lisa, you might.
Not right now, no. I can look into it.
Yeah. Anything else for Daryl? While he's there?
Nope, Daryl.
Thanks, Daryl.
Welcome.
Any other old business?
Yes.
Just to update from old business on some of the comments we made, the speed signs did come in, and one of them is already erected.
On Washington?
On Washington, yes. We have one up on Washington, and they're gonna install the other one tomorrow.
Is it operational?
Yes, it is operational.
As of when?
As of today.
Oh, today. So
Yeah.
I drove down
No,
last
they-
night and see anything.
No, they just
Oh,
put it
today,
out
okay. Hot off the
we
press.
we're going to test that for just a little while. I was talking with the chief today. We're going to see how readings are. We may have to move that sign further down because he wants a longer shot from, going southeast or southwest on that road. So we want to try and get a better shot on that. So we're gonna wait a little bit. We're going to install the second sign tomorrow or the next day, and then that one's going to be about located where Abigail Court is located. So then that way you get the further shot of Washington Street from Broadway all the way from there. And then we may move the other sign probably within the next month or so. We're going to see what a month worth of readings are going to be. And if we're not getting the readings that we want, we're probably going to move that further down.
And it's where right now?
Right now, it's just past the post office, Daryl, if I'm correct, just a little south of the post office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's south of the post office, and the next one's going by Abigail?
No, the one's gonna go down by Broadway
No.
and Abigail. And the other one, the one if we don't get the readings we like from this one, we're gonna move this one down by
Across from Keys of
Keys of Cody down there by Broadway.
Yeah.
And then this one's gonna go. The one we're doing tomorrow is gonna go right by Abigail Court, right there where the fire hydrant's at, just a couple feet down, if we can get it in there. So there's just not enough room. We'll look tomorrow.
How much were those again? Those were relative 6,000 a piece or something, or?
Yeah.
6 and change.
I know you've been advocating for the speed bumps on Grand. What's your thoughts on if we can't get a decent price on those, but doing the speed signs that we've been doing? Is that something that might work over there, you think? Or?
I don't know.
It's hard to say.
I just got 150 miles an hour by my house. I have yard working.
Around that curve, 50? Gee,
It's not a curve right there in front of my house. Once they get over the speeds up in Newport Ritchie, you can hear them speed up. Not all of them, but you hear them speed up and they fly right up by Donadio or Gator Towns. But we need this too. But if we want to see what happens in fall, if we're going to get more roads paved, maybe they can
coordinate during that time.
What I'd like to consider, let council consider for now, because we've looked into this as well, and we did mention this before, and we can put signage up. We can put the temporary speed humps or speed tables in there for now. They're commercial grade.
Right.
They'll last quite some time until we solidify getting them paved.
That's a great idea.
They're
How
much
much are those?
they're
A lot cheaper.
a lot
$700.
lot less expensive. I don't have pricing on.
Depends on which ones you get, but yeah, they're not expensive.
Yeah, they're nowhere near as expensive as doing, because the thing is that we're trying to carbon copy exactly what Newport did. And now that the fact that they just repaved, they've just remodeled them, so you're paying for, pretty much like their product is. They just re-stamped everything. But what I'm saying is that we can put the signs up, we can put the temporary speed humps in, we can see how it goes, and then as we get more quotes, we can also discuss if the speed humps or speed tables are actually working, or we can approach with speed signs. So that this way it provides us more options. It solves the problem of putting something in there right now.
Yeah.
Seeing how it goes, seeing how traffic is, if issues, if the city manager gets calls or anything like that, hey, we don't like this. But then we can look for more quotes to do a more permanent job and also look into speed signs later on.
Well, now that we've got the ones that are going on Washington, so we don't need the temporaries going up there anymore. We've got 3 temporaries, two. Have we ever had those deployed over on Grand?
Yeah, we have the problem with those on a road that's windy is you don't get good readings. And if you don't have the correct angle on the radar gun compared to the traffic, sometimes the speeds are inflated and it looks like it's a lot worse than what it is. I don't think those speed signs will actually work there.
Okay.
Because of the way the road is
Right.
winding.
They put it
Washington
in-
Street is perfect because it's so long and straight.
They did put them in front of the firehouse.
Yeah, I saw one
a
there
couple
before.
years ago.
But
Gets
yeah,
to that
down
straight
towards
away.
you, it probably wouldn't
That doesn't
work.
count down by where
Right.
they're hauling butt.
Okay. Yeah, what do we do to help mitigate that for sure?
I know the neighbors would be really happy to have those.
Do you want us to look into the temporaries? And
Please, yes,
Okay.
absolutely. That'd be
let,
great.
let us get solid pricing on them, and then we'll present that at the next meeting. See if that's an option you'd like to do. And like I said, we can order those much quicker than waiting on quotes for a paving company or putting
Can
it on
those
towards
be-
out for mobilization.
If we was to buy those, are you able to relocate those?
Yep.
So like we could use them as,
Well, they'd be rebarred in. You would just have to, when you pull them up, you just got to
so basically,
pull patch over the little
forward one paving project, then we could actually put the permanent ones in, then we could pull those up and we could possibly use them as other places if we need to test or whatever.
Traffic problem, put them on Washington for a month or someplace else for a month. And
Yeah.
see how it works out.
Yeah.
Is anyone familiar with Timber Oaks?
Yes.
Timber Oaks, okay, like that you can go through towards 52. A lot of people take that back way through Timber Oaks. They, for the longest time, didn't have
They had
speed
to,
bumps.
yeah, that's,
And then they went
Yeah.
ahead and did it. And they used it. They actually had temporary ones in there for a little while, and then they ended up taking them out because their community didn't like them. But they tried it, so it's very like Daryl said. It's just basically you pop them off and cold patch over the small holes that you would make. So it's not really going to impact. And yes, we can if it comes up to another area in the city that we want to use them for, we'll always can just bring them out and try it out.
yeah.
It's not we're not going to lose anything on them.
Yeah, they're only like 700 a piece or whatever. It's,
Yeah, well, like I said, would
The ones at Max Newport Richie might be a little bit more, a little bit bigger maybe, I don't know. You have to-
but it'll buy us some time.
Something
and
close to
it'll help
those.
solve an issue that's been going on for a little while. So
and those are, you get different ones tabled to certain speeds, right? So you're like, was it 30 through there? I think? 25? So it basically, you can go over to 25, you should
yes,
be, yeah.
that's what we'll be looking for. Yeah.
It's 30, but it's posted 25. No one does that.
Oh, right, yeah. But yeah, the thing is not like if you go down to Ollie's down here, speed up in the parking lot, I mean, you got to crawl over that thing.
Oh, that one's
That's the
horrible.
worst speed up in the world.
It is.
Any other old business?
With the events coming up, we've got mangrove trimming on here under old business. So,
I've got information on that. I'm
since
holding
we're
out.
having an event at Waterfront Park, it'd be nice if that.
Right, is it better that we present this at the CRA since we brought it up there? Because I have all the information up there
Yeah.
in order to have that discussion.
It was just on here, so.
Well, we don't have a CRA meeting tonight either, so.
No. You want it?
Is that a CRA issue or is that a issue for us?
It is we brought it up in CRA for the discussion piece, but I do have the notes here. If you're interested, I can go ahead and address it right now.
Please do.
We went out.
Thank you, sir.
We went out and did an estimate for the mangrove tree trimming for Brasher Park and Waterfront Park. We had 3 vendors to give us feedback. The vendors came back and said that what we would need is a 3-year trimming program. All of them concurred on that in order to get after the excessive growth and to bring it back down to what we consider our optimal levels. Now, with that, 3 vendor quotes that I did receive. Vendor 1 for Brasher Park for a 3-year contract, it was $42,750, and for Waterfront Park, it's $90,325 for a total of $133,075. Vendor 1.
Is that per year?
That's the total 3-year packet.
All
So
3
that's all,
years.
for all 3 years, it's 150,000.
Correct. Now for vendor two, Brasher Park, 48,500, and then for Waterfront Park, it's 90,000, and for a total of 139,500. Or for vendor three, combined total for the parks is 255,000. So I would recommend vendor one.
Eric, we need to open up a mangrove trimming business.
Yeah, we're definitely, yeah, it pays better than council salaries
Wow.
for sure.
So the difference between vendor one and vendor two was $6,000 on Brasher.
Yes. Well, it's $6,000, yes, for Brasher, and then 1,000, well, roughly 700 for Waterfront.
What was the total for one?
One was $133,000
And then 139 for the
and
second.
139 for the second.
And we need to use any of these because they're approved by the state, correct? They're the only ones that can get the permits to do that?
Well, they are licensed and permitted in order to do it.
Yeah.
So they meet the requirements that we would need in order for them to conduct, the actual.
Can I ask who the trimming companies are?
The only reason the only reason why we don't want to disclose the company's name publicly is because this may have to go out to bid due to the amount of pricing. But to answer your question, we did reach out to the company that we've discussed before.
So do we need to go out to bid, or can we make a motion to get these trees, the mangrove trimmed?
Hold on a second. So one, if it's a CRA, then we have to do it in CRA meeting.
Yes.
If that's what we're going to use the money out of. And two, well, let me ask this question. So this is, in order to effectuate this contract, if we were to do that, do we pay it up front and we just get the 3 years of service, or we pay a third every year?
Well, that would be something we'd have to negotiate, but right
Okay,
now
so
it's up front.
I would assume it'd probably be a yearly
Yes.
third. So it would be less impact on the
You said
budget.
there was 3 companies?
3 companies.
You got what?
The third cost was $255,000 for both parks. They didn't break it down by one or the other. They just gave us total cost.
Okay. So I guess the next step would be to see is I guess go out to bid, right?
This does exceed our purchase policy, which is $25,000. I would recommend going this out to public bid, so then these companies can submit to it. And then, if they want to lock in a 3-year contract, that's fine, but that's what we would have to consider. But like I said, this would have to take place at a CRA meeting, even if we're going to decide on an act.
Well, do we have, just to go out to bid? Would we need to do that in CRA? Could we authorize them to go out to bid and then we just address it in CRA? Or?
It's all CRA's
Yeah,
ability, so
I would say
Okay.
keep it in that
unfortunately. I know
scope.
it delays things, but that's kind of the.
Okay. Well,
So that means we're not going to have any. I'm sorry, Eric. We're not going to have the mangroves trimmed up for the seafood festival.
You go to bid, take
30 days for bid. So yeah,
even if
no
you-
way to do it.
Even if you started tonight. it
Okay.
Yeah, even if we authorize tonight, you couldn't do it.
Well, it sounds like we're on the move and we're getting this done. So thank you, Sal and the city, for getting that done. We need to get those bushes trimmed up.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to dealing with that in CRA.
They'll look good for the second annual seafood festival. So.
Yeah, thank you, Sal, for answering that. Appreciate it.
Okay. Any other old business? I have one old business on the demo property that we approved. I know there's 2. One's a stay. The other one I asked again about, and nothing's happening on that. And I've got residents asking what's going on with that. Do we have an update on the other one that's I think owned by the bank?
We're waiting on the asbestos report.
Was it something we've ordered to? Okay. And then once that comes back, then we can move forward. Okay.
Yep.
Any idea on time frame?
What did we
They
talked
were
to?
waiting for something to come back this week.
Yeah.
Okay. So soon on that, I guess. Perfect. Okay. Any other old business before I move on? Okay. Next up is comments from Mayor and City Council. I'll start with Councilwoman Sullivan.
I'd like to request an agenda item for a discussion of transitioning our code enforcement proceedings from Pasco County to a special magistrate.
Okay.
If we could get that in an upcoming agenda.
Yeah.
I'm ready to talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll
I'm
also
surprised
need-
we haven't talked about it already. So.
I try, I keep trying.
We'll also need a cost benefit analysis to discuss on that
Yeah.
as well.
Is there any objections to that?
No.
Okay. So can we get that on the next? Which would be not next meeting, but the week after? The meeting after, right?
It would be the second meeting in March.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
I'm not saying nothing.
Anything else, Christine?
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay. Councilman Hubbard?
Oh,
That's coming to you.
well, it's just, actually, I forgot about mentioning it yesterday at the events committee. It's a little off subject, but I know we had discussed this before. I just wonder if you guys were planning possibly a policeman's ball or fireman's ball or a first responders ball.
Oh, yeah. So the mayor's ball this year is going to be honoring first responders, and we're going to look at potentially using. It's going to be for charity, and the proceeds would potentially go to Tunnel to Towers, is what we've kind of talked about.
To what?
Tunnel to Towers, the organization that
Tunnel to Towers.
they support. Good organization. They support. They've got a development there in Land O'Lakes that they build homes for vets and police officers and different things like that that are injured and stuff. And actually, I'm glad you brought that up because I'll give a quick update. I'll jump back to me when it comes back to me. But the rum is completely sold out now at Catches. And so obviously they're going to give me the number of what the donation is going to be to charity. So we need to have that figured out.
It's here.
Okay.
I got it all figured out. Also put it
So
right for you guys to approve.
Okay. So I guess, is there any objection to her getting that ready for us?
That's great.
Okay. And so out of that, obviously, we'll have to work out our charitable donations because you have to tie the organization to the city.
Right.
So that may be tricky with Tunnel Towers. I don't know. I think they do help some people in the city. So we got to figure that out. But if not, we'll have to look for a different organization.
So you have a date?
Yes, it's September 11th, Friday, September 11th. So it's a perfect day for a
Yeah, first responders.
first responder thing and Tunnel Towers. I mean, it's worked out great.
Was that a Friday, Saturday? Was that a
It's Friday.
It's what, 6 o'clock or?
We got the time, but yeah, Spartan Manor is where it's going to be at. They've already reserved the date. But yeah, probably 6, maybe a little bit after that. We'll figure that out soon. And we'll be working with folks to try to help get that up and running.
The last one was great.
Yeah, it was.
It was just really nice.
So, like I said, I think being for charity, and that especially that organization as well, I think that'll sell out. I would imagine that'd be a really large event.
Yeah.
So we could really help some of these organizations. Do you have anything else, Bob?
Nope.
Okay. Councilwoman Burke.
No, because I was just going to ask about the mangroves and it came up anyway.
Okay. Vice Mayor.
Yes, I've got a couple things I want to talk about real quick. First off, I wanted to say, Eric, great job with you and your team on these local markets. I attended both of them in the recent past there, and Caroline, her husband Jaime, are working representing us well in the city, and they're bringing great repute, and also they're giving small business owners in the community the opportunity to showcase their goods and services. I was able to meet somebody at one of those events. I had a really painful back problem, and I went to the chiropractor, one of the chiropractors that we met through there, and they were just phenomenal. So I encourage people to go to those events, meet those people, talk to them. They're our community people, and they're here to help us and serve us. Second thing I wanted to talk about was, this is kind of a catch-22, but I'm going to say it. We have zoning enforcement out there, and it seems like zoning enforcement spends all its time running around the homeowners and, looking behind somebody's door for somebody to catch somebody hanging a shed door on or something without having a permit. But we have these commercial properties throughout the city that are on the side of 19. So you drive into our city and you have multiple commercial properties they just look like people would just back their truck up and dumped their garbage out on the lawn. So I think we probably need to be looking at spending a little more time, not necessarily, looking for somebody who's putting up a door in their backyard versus, go out to these commercial properties, and we can start nicely, but eventually we got to get down to business. We got to get your stuff cleaned up, get your trash can out of there. Because some of them are just really bad. And so that makes us look bad. And unfortunately, some of them are car dealers, and they give us a bad name as well in the car business. And some of them are not car dealers. Other ones are just other businesses that they, just find that our streets on the side of 19 there are just garbage. So I would like to see us spend a little more time trying to, get out there and get those folks in line so we don't have those blighted looking images from our 19.
Yeah, and I concur. I mean, I've seen, I know specifically one on 19 there that we got to drive by it every day, and there's no active enforcement on it at all. It's just, I mean, the sign is completely mangled from the last of the hurricane or whatever it was, but it's, and then there's several that just get passed by. I'm not sure why that happens, but
Eric, I'm getting calls and complaints from other businesses that are like, "Are you guys going to do anything about this?" And that property is one of them, but there's others, and the city's aware of them. We're just not doing anything about it, and I think we really do need to do something about it.
Yeah. So I know obviously it's a large work with one person in code enforcement, but it does seem like some of the bigger things are getting missed for some reason. So
We'll take care of it.
Okay.
We're on it.
anything else,
Awesome.
Chris?
No, I'm thankful that we're moving on the trimming of the mangroves in the parks. I mean, at the end of the day, our parks they're our golden jewel. That's what we have to offer. We don't have much more than that. We got some trailer parks, which are great, but that's not quite the same thing as these waterfront parks where you've got dolphins and manatee and fishing that are, things that are thriving. So getting those mangroves trimmed up is highly important to our future, and ignoring them is definitely something that goes against everything that we're trying to accomplish as a city. Other than that, I think we're doing a great job as a city. I'm so honored to be serving next to the people in the fire department, the police department, Daryl and his crew. Don is doing a great job. Sal and his people there at the city building are doing a fantastic job. We have a fantastic crew right now, and I think probably the best crew we've ever had, even when it comes to city council. So just proud to be here with you guys, and thankful that I am able to serve with you.
Thanks, Chris. I just got two quick things. You may or may not seen the post I supplied on Facebook, shared out, but I want to give an appropriation update. Obviously, the House budget came out, and our two appropriation asks were in there at half, 50%. The Senate budget came out the end of last week, and our appropriation is now in there for their full amount. So which is $650,000 for the Vector truck, and $250,000 for Grand Boulevard. That's our full ask for this year, and as well as the $800,000 fire truck reappropriation. So that's in the Senate budget. So now the next steps, obviously, is the Senate and House get together in a conference, and they work out to get the numbers the same. So obviously, Ed Hooper sitting in the chair seat at the Senate. He's working hard for us, so I'm really confident that they're going to get that through. Obviously, nothing's official until it's signed by the governor, but we're well underway and in play for those that $900,000 additional for this year. So it's fantastic news there. And then the last thing I have is with fishing. I should mention it's probably back in the event committee update, but the fishing tournament is going to have trophies, and they want to put the city logo, the new city logo, on that. And so obviously our code requires us to authorize that to be used for that. It is a city fishing tournament, which is being obviously run by a vendor, if you will, that we've contracted with, but it is a city fishing tournament, and so they would like to put our logo on those trophies. So if you guys are okay with that, if I get a motion to allow Tarpon Springs Fishing Club to utilize the city logo for their trophies.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to have Tarpon Springs Fishing Club use our logo for the trophies for our fishing tournament, or the Get Hooked, or the Hook,
or Sea Festival.
Sea Festival.
Yeah. Okay.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any further discussion?
Is that this? So is it the seal or the brand?
It's the brand, I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. But I guess do we want to specify which one we want on there? I assume the brand.
Yeah, we
right?
want the brand on there, right?
Yeah.
The new brand.
Yeah, I'll let them know that to use the new
Yeah.
brand logo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't-
Any
do I
other
need to
discussion?
Specify that? No?
What's that?
I don't need to specify that, do I?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess, let me ask you a question about that, because it's an interesting thing, because it's a brand that, and I know in our code, it's the logo, which is,
He doesn't talk about
so really,
You might want to.
we might want to put something in the code about the brand.
Yeah.
That was going to be my next statement.
Yeah.
Is that the seal is the only thing that's in the code.
Right,
That's
so-
not. So
So
now,
technically, they can
now that
probably
we're
just
starting
use
to
it.
incorporate this, we may want to consider that to protect it so it's not being used by multiple people unless you guys decide that.
Right.
So that's the thing. So just like what you're doing right now, you don't want anyone else taking that from us. So we probably
Right.
should consider that.
Yeah, so let me address that right after this vote. So any public comment on that, on the trophies? Okay. Soon I bring it back for vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then along that same discussion, is there any objection to Nancy preparing an addition to the code and that portion about the seal to also protect the brand? We had to authorize that as well. Any objections?
Can I ask you a question, Eric?
Sure.
So that would be a trademark. We would trademark the new brand.
You know, explain
That's
that?
something different.
It's not exactly trade. You wouldn't go through the process of trademarking. You just would add to your code that it can't be used without your permission.
Well, how does that protect us from somebody else using it?
It's a code violation.
We can
Okay.
sue if they use it without our
I mean,
permission.
it's not.
It's kind of like a trademark,
I
sort
mean,
of.
It probably doesn't have the same damages involved as a trademark would have. I've never done a trademark. I don't know what that process would take. I'm sure it's quite more lengthy than an ordinance 2 readings. But I could look into that. But it protects you, and if someone were to use it, you could.
I don't want to spend any more time than we have to on it. I just want to make sure we protect the use of it. That's all. So if you've got that, we're all good. Thank you, Nancy.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
So by consensus, if we could get that in front of us as soon as possible.
It's on my list.
And
By consensus.
that is all I have. So with that, I'll open up for a motion for adjournment. Yeah, oh, yes.
Just a quick question. Do you, off the top of your head, if not, no big deal, I'll find it out tomorrow. Do you, off the top of your head, since you spoke about it, do you have the date of the reappropriation necessity? The reason why I'm asking is I'm trying to work with the vendor.
Speed it up.
Trying to cut that last year out, but I know we were close. Again, there's no promises. At the end of the day, you can try, but you can say, you know, well, Michelin's on back order now, or the lights, the people that make the emergency lights, you know what I mean? Those things can happen. But I was just trying to push him 10 or, a week or two short of that deadline to give us time to get the check, pay it off, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what that deadline is? Is it fiscal year? Is it, is it fiscal year? Is it a calendar year? Do you know what it is?
I want to say it starts July 1st and goes through the end of June. But I will find that out. Obviously,
I can find out tomorrow. I just didn't know that you had it in front of you if you just had the deadline date because I'm calling him in the morning. So
yeah, no. When are we supposed to take delivery?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
It's August.
I think it's August. Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't remember for sure.
I'm assuming if you could get it back to June, I think we would not have to reappropriate for the following. I'd like to find out exactly when we would have to take delivery of that to not have to reappropriate yet another year. Okay. So,
Yeah, that would be great to get that thing taken care of and get it into service.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Try. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else before we adjourn? Anybody want to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Seven.